Wonderful. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hampshire Chamber of Commerce People by People podcast. We are live streaming on Facebook and Instagram. I'm David Kemshall, and I'd like to introduce my special guest. In fact, I'd like her to introduce herself. Who are you?
I am Jo Emerson from JDE Marketing. I'm old, but I'm ready.
Wonderful. Welcome. So what do you do, Jo?
I run a marketing agency. We're outsourced for small and teeny tiny businesses, or more to the point, teeny tiny budgets. We do all the things that marketers do, but we do it with neuroscience. So we make sure that everything we do is subconscious brain friendly. So it means you get more bang for your buck.
Okay. And when did you start the business?
I started the business in '96, and I had an agency in Wiltshire. We had about 30 people working for us, and I was working for all the big guys, the Royal Navies and the Fox and, the government. Then I moved to New York. I was there for 14 years and had my business there. And then I moved back to my hometown of Basingstoke, well, actually Overton, in December of last year.
Okay. And how's that been since you've been back?
Awesome.
Quite the change.
Oh yeah, like
culture change, shock.
No, God, so ready. I was so ready to come back to Blighty. I can't even tell you. I loved America, but the American business is very, very different. It was really good to get back to normal people, if I can say that without offending everyone. But no, it's been great, and it was a really good learning experience. And I'd worked on the West Coast before because of the neuroscience element to what I do. I do a lot of cultural adaptation and brand integration for global brands, and I've just got to a point in my life now where there's 32 years of experience, and I want to help smaller guys, people who really transform. It's great making millions for people who are already gazillionaires, but it's not really a blip. You have an injection of 100, 300, 500,000 into a small business. It's transformational and it's much more rewarding. And that's really, where I want to focus now, is just helping people be successful and have fun with it.
Okay. So you sort of spoke about, why you started the business and how you're focusing on the little guy. Who would you say are your influences? Who inspires you to do what you do?
People who are struggling. I mean, honestly, I think the big misconception about marketing is that people turn into different people when they're marketing. They think they have to be grown up. They think they have to be really sensible. And, and I'm here to tell you that is not what the brain is looking for. They're looking for you. They're looking for authenticity, a connection. They want fun. No one wants anything hard anymore. And so what inspires me is seeing small business. And I've run a business for like 25 years. So I've seen it from both sides of the fence, seeing people who really don't know where to start, or they're hesitant, or they've got a pot of money and it's a small pot of money and they're scared because it's easy to waste money in marketing. But when you walk people through that journey and see and ignite their passion for marketing, because they realize what they're doing is actually marketing themselves, and communicating with the emotional brain is a very different concept to just chucking stuff out there and throwing it on a wall. So what inspires me is seeing people who really don't know where they want to be becoming expert marketers in their own right. And I like to train and encourage and help people so that they can do quite a lot of it on their own, and they understand quickly what is the essence of who they are and what they should get other people to do. But there's some things you need to do yourself. And for the small guy, it's surprising how little you have to do to stand out. But what you do needs to be great. And the only way to do that is to be yourself. And I really get inspired helping people achieve that, and they say, oh my God, I've only got like 500 quid. Well, what can we do with 500 quid? Let's see what we can do. And every week, I run into people who have been wasting money because it feels like the right thing to do, because they don't know any different. And when you tell people to stop doing things, at first they're like, oh my God, and then when they see it working, they get inspired, and I like taking the journey with people. It's to me, it's not a one and done. It's like, I'll hold your hand, we'll take you through it, we'll have a right laugh, a few cocktails along the way. It's going to be fun, it's going to be hard, but it's going to be transformational, and that's what inspires me.
Okay. From an external point of view, is there anyone that you follow on social media or people that you've met in the past and still have contact with that inspire you to down other avenues of marketing, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm obsessed with neuroscience, and I have been for 30 years when I first started working with it. And there's two sides to my brain, and by trade I'm a writer, and I still write books for people, and I write every single day. So there are certain writers that inspire me and I follow, and like self-publishing, people who've gone on and cracked it like in a big way. But I think most of the people I follow are really on the neuroscience side, and I think probably the guy I think really kicks it big time is Christoph Marin, who wrote and continues to present on neuromarketing, and he's one of the rare breed who take incredibly complex subjects and make them digestible. And then I also follow Roger Dooley, who is a neuromarketing blogger who comes from a sales background. And, I guess I like Christoph Marin because he's the sciencey brain. There's Roger Dooley talks about it, and then I do it. And there's lots of times we're in articles together on podcasts, not podcasts with them, but we're in articles together because we're all sides of it. So it's scientists, research. I'm a total nerd on behavioral science, but that's my bread and butter. I take the research, and I have a talent for converting it into everyday usability.
Okay. Wonderful. So Chamber of Commerce has a lot of one-man bands, a lot of businesses, around 1, 2, sometimes even smaller than sort of 5 or 10, and they come into the chamber as a startup business. They're very scared to kind of invest in marketing. The chamber introduces them to a few marketing companies to have those conversations. What advice would you give to those businesses that are fresh, just starting up, don't even have a logo, don't even have a website? What advice would you give to them to just do what, I don't know, I say do the minimum or do the basics? What advice would you give? The ultimate startup mix. The ultimate startup mix is like, make sure you strap a boatload of guts into what you're doing every day. It's easy to get sucked into, I need to be a professional, I need to look like this, you need to be you need to be authentic, because that is what the brain is looking for. The brain is constantly looking for relationships. Yeah. So you need to have stuff that's going to give you a credible check. You've got to have your outward facing health check. You need to have a website, but do you need to have a big, massive, gigantic, all singing, all dancing, like makes you tea for your website? No, you don't. What you need to have is a website that answers the emotional question, which is, who are we? How long have we been doing this? Because what happens with most people's websites, they do this. They go, right, here's what we do, list of services. Here's how long we've been doing it, and here's who likes us. When in actual fact, the brain isn't looking for that. It's looking for who likes you, how long have you been doing it, and this is what we're doing. So focus on testimonials, focus on, even if they're testimonials about from your previous life, about your work ethic, your personality, what it's like to work with you, because those are the things people are looking for. Invest in photography, amazing photography that captures the spirit of you. Have a really good bio section, have a really lively and engaging blog and social media channels. But instead of trying to craft something that doesn't feel like you, just have fun with it. Be bold, be brave, have fun, because the thing that will differentiate is you. It's the only thing you've got that unique, unless you've reinvented something or you've got a brand new prospect, in which case you're probably funded to within an inch of your life. For the rest of us, it's really us doing something that we love, that we're good at.
And I tend to, with smaller businesses, try to install a discipline that, right, we've got a minimum done. Your logo, don't waste tons of money on it. It's, it's an anchor point. It's nothing more than that. No one really cares. Everyone needs to get over themselves about logos and stuff. We all need one, but it's not that big of a deal. What's a big deal is you. And, how do you approach work? What's it like working with you? Because when a reader comes to your site, and you do need to have a website, if you don't need brochures, you don't need really great business cards, you need really good mechanisms, but you don't need print to win. You need you real, authentic you in front of people. And if your site, when people come to you and they can see you in your everyday environment, they get a flavour of your backstory, the brain is looking to connect. It's not looking to buy something, it's looking to date you. So when it comes to your site, it's like, am I going to like these people? Are they going to like me? Are they going to make me better? Am I going to stand out in the pack? Are these going to be like, is this going to be what I hope it's going to be from an emotional perspective? And what people usually do is just vomit content onto their sites. And here's the fun fact. The emotional brain can't read. It's illiterate. It literally cannot translate language. And what we do is make sure that when the brain lands on it, it can translate the code, the emotional code of who you are.
Yeah.
And once it's connected with that and it doesn't have to read, it will hang around long enough to read you.
Yeah.
So it's all about you. It's all about having fun with it. The thing that made you passionate, just put that out there. If you're, into rescuing dogs, or you're a Morris dancer and you're passionate about that, God, get it on there. That's what people want. Be quirky, be weird, be you. You don't have to spend a lot of money to look like a really impressive, engaging business.
Yeah.
It's easy to waste money in marketing.
So talking about passions, what would you say that you are very passionate about, more from a personal level? This is a people by people podcast, talking about the person behind the business. So what are your personal passions, and maybe even talk about your work ones as well? So
yeah, well, they're the same thing. It's the same thing.
Sure.
The thing I'm most passionate about is love. That's what I'm most passionate about. And it's funny, I was writing about this weekend, because everyone talks about the work-life balance, and I've always been really quite crap at that, really not that great with the whole sorting it out. And then I realised that the reason I didn't get it right all these years is because I was living a life full of buts. Oh, my job is really great, but I love you, but, and I'm in my 50s now. I'm the happiest I've ever been. I have a wonderful life, brilliant partner. My life is just filled with love. And I now consider that I don't chase after a work-life balance. I chase after a work-love balance, because it makes it easier to make choices about what you do and you don't want to do. If you want your life to be a fun and happy life, I'm not saying that's not going to be hard work in life, but it makes it easier to make choices when you get passionate about love. And everything that I do is all about love. It's all about making connections. And, I say to people, the things you love are the things that make you who you are. And, I spent far too many years having a great life and having lots of love in my life, but I had a lot of buts. And so what I'm passionate about now for myself, for my clients, is to live butt free. And I hope that also translates to my butt actually getting a lot smaller. But, I'd like to be that kind of butt free too. But I'm happy just with being butt free. And, I was trying to nail it for someone. They said, what's the difference in your life now? I live butt free. I live based on love and work on love. And that's it.
I love that.
Hey.
No, that's
drum roll.
That's lovely. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that. So moving swiftly on with the list of questions that I have, we're going to go into a quick fire round. Okay, so must give an answer.
All right.
Even if you don't relate to it or you don't agree, please just decide which one's best of the two.
Yeah.
Okay. So, medium rare or medium well?
Medium rare.
Audi or Volkswagen?
Audi.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Bodyguard or Dirty Dancing?
Neither. 0.30.
But I need an answer. Bodyguard or Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing, then there's more love.
Full English or full continental?
Full English.
Ketchup or mayonnaise?
Mayo.
PJs in a movie or dress up and go out?
PJs in a movie.
KFC or Burger King?
KFC.
Thank you. Now, obviously, to summarise everything that you've just said, can you please now give me 3 USPs for JDE Marketing?
We love our clients a lot. I love loving everything. We can do amazing things with small budgets. So that's what makes us different from most marketers. We connect with the emotional brain, doesn't cost a lot. So 3 USPs, we know our stuff, we care, and we'll get the job done.
That was 3, wasn't it?
Kind of.
Lovely.
That isn't close to 3 as I'm ever going to get.
Well, thank you very much, Joanne. Thank you very much for coming down and doing the podcast with us today. Please tune in again, guys, to our next People by People podcast. Thank you very much for Techers for the tech support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you.